Whoa, rising in the rising sun, the land
Yo,
of
minasan,
bamboo,
it's Manga
tingle,
Sensei. Welcome back to the
and
episode. Today we're going to be talking about something that is a common mistake that, if fixed, can make your Japanese sound considerably more fluid and fluent sounding. This is something that people often oversimplify when they use romaji, okay? But before I jump into that, please make sure to follow me on Twitter where we can kind of talk back and forth and you can ask me direct questions. And if you ask me there, I can actually throw them here on the show and answer your questions directly. So if you like those questions, shoot me a message on Twitter. It's at the Manga Sensei. Okay, with that, let's talk about a hiragana piece, okay? What is the final hiragana? It's the n sound, right? Or as sometimes I say in my accent in Japanese, sound. It's a closing of the mouth. It's an ending. This n sound, if you will, is not always an n sound. We often think it's an n sound when it is put into Romanized letters, right? So ka is ka, and ts is tsu, and d is ri. But this is not always true. In fact, there is a particular rule when it comes to this sound, and I'm going to talk about that today. So this sound actually changes depending on what is coming before. So for example, when I lived in Japan, one of my roommates was named Shun. Shun. So when it is at the end of a word, it's usually going to, particularly when it follows a U sound, it's going to be ending in just a normal N sound. So we have shun, or san. The tongue goes to the top of the mouth and it's pronounced like an N. However, his last name was Sambongi, 3 trees counter. So san becomes Sambongi, and that's because of the B sound in there. So when it, and the N-looking thing, we're going to call it a niun, okay? When the niun comes right by the B, P, or an M sound, it's going to sound more like an M. So sambongi, sammai, sampun, so all of these are going to become sam. They can be more of an M sound, okay? And that's before it hits a M, or before it hits a B, or before it hits a P. Because phonetically, all of those are in the same family, okay? So when I'm going to put all those together, it's going to change things a little bit. Now, and there's another one that's going to change it as well. If it's going to come before a G sound, okay? Give you an example here. If I want to say the third room, or room 3, it's san go shitsu. San go shitsu. But what's happening here is it's going to be a NG sounds, and it's going to be kind of swallowed and put to the back of your throat. Sango, 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 go, go, sango. I'm going to swallow it and put it in the back of my throat. Sango shitsu, sango shitsu. Sangoshitsu. Now, yes, I am not a native speaker, but I've looked into a lot of research on this and to prepare for this episode to make sure that you understand how it's placed. So, again, to kind of go over the phonetic rules here. If the next sound is a B, a P, or an M, we're going to make it sound more like a sound, like the letter M. If it's at the end of the word, like santen, like 3 points, santen, ten, it's going to be just the N sound. However, if it's in front of a G, we're going to kind of block them together. Sanko, sango, sank. K and G are related, so we're going to put those two in the same box as well. Sanko, sango. So we have those 3 independent rules, okay? So next time you think of that little niun there as just a normal N sound, forget that. Make sure you understand where it's at in the sentence and where it's at in the exact word so that you can pronounce it correctly and be a little more fluid in your Japanese. Okay? Cool. I will catch you tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit more about phonology. We're going to talk about something called rendaku, which I have been looking at and researching to make sure I can understand and explain it to you. So I hope it makes sense. With that, I'll catch you tomorrow. Until then, jane. Website at manga-sensei.com and our new Patreon, which is going to have a lot more fun stuff coming on as well. Until then, catch you tomorrow. Remember, it takes 10,000 mistakes to become fluent in Japanese, so let's make some mistakes. Till then, jane.